So, who is the Venus of Willendorf, and why is she interesting? Well, for one, she's one of the oldest works of art yet found in the world. As we've talked about in class, our early ancestors made plenty of artwork depicting animals, but the Venus of Willendorf is a very old sculpture depicting a female nude. In fact, there have been several other sculptures of female nudes found dating from around this time period, the early Paleolithic period. The Venus of Willendorf is very old. She dates around 28,000 to 25,000 years ago, and she acquired her name when she was found in Austria in 1908 in a village named Willendorf. So we don't actually know if she's supposed to represent a Venus, Venus meaning the goddess of love. This is really just a projection that we place upon the object, because the truth is we know very little about her apart from what we can actually see, and that's because she's so old. So let's take a look at her. We see that she's yellowish in color. She's made of limestone. She's about 4 inches high, so she's rather small. She's small enough to fit in the palm of someone's hand, in fact. And residue on the stone indicates that she used to be painted a reddish color. So let's look at her body. Her breasts are very exaggerated. In fact, they're kind of the focal point. It's hard to see this, but her hands are actually resting above her breasts. At first glance, it may appear as though she has no arms. It definitely looks like she has no feet. So the focal point of the sculpture is the body. Her hips are spilling, her genitalia is pronounced, her thighs are large, her stomach's large. She also appears to have some sort of hair or hat on her head. We're not really sure which, but she has absolutely no facial features. So she has very exaggerated proportions, and these exaggerated proportions may indicate that she was seen as some sort of fertility symbol. So if you think about it, at this time of human existence, a woman that was fit to bear children was important for prolonging the species. So why does she look like this? Well, someone in my class once suggested that maybe she's pregnant. The girl felt that the sculpture represented the feeling of being pregnant and not necessarily the look. For example, the feeling of looking down and not being able to see your feet. So perhaps it's a self-portrait. Another common question is, why is she so small? Well, historians debate that perhaps she would have been carried around by our nomadic ancestors as some sort of fertility symbol or some sort of good luck charm. And nomadic just means that our ancestors moved from place to place in search of food. So there have been a series of female nude sculptures dating from around this time period, and they come in all different shapes and sizes. But one thing they have in common is that they have very exaggerated proportions. So we're not 100% sure why our early humans made these and what they actually meant to them. So that's really up to you. What do you think?